And high prices, tight budgets, more shoppers turning to buy now, pay later services instead of charging it to a credit card. It's not an option that really saves you a whole lot from overspending, though, does it? Joining us now is financial expert Nathan Ford with Vital Retirement Planners. Nathan, good to see you. And we've seen these buy now, pay later services go up over the past few years. How have they evolved and gained popularity since they were initially introduced?
Well, I'll say 'tis the season for being even more financially disciplined. This is the time when people tend to throw out their financial resolutions and forget about all that. So you got to be real careful. There really isn't a whole lot of difference between some of these buy now, pay later services and a credit card. And you look at services like Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna. Essentially what they're doing is they're saying, hey, if you make a little payment today, kind of think of it as a down payment, we will, slice up the rest of the money you owe in installments, and there could be fees, there could be interest, and it looks like surveys show that about 1 in 4 Americans have used this service in the last year, and I think it's going to become more popular. So all the reason to sound a little warning voice.
It's also kind of one of those things, Nathan, where you say, hey, I don't have to pay for it now. Like, this is free, right? It's not a great type of math.
Yeah. No, we love the buy now part. What we don't like is the pay later, right?
Right.
And here's just a good rule of thumb for borrowing money. And you have to understand you are borrowing money. You're using somebody else's money. It's a lender. And the only reason you should ever do that is if you have a better use for your money. Right. So it makes sense to pay some interest and fees to a lender so that you can go do something better with your money. And that could be paying down high interest debt, higher interest debt. It could be getting a better return than the interest you would pay to these lenders. So you really have to take a step back and think about what you're doing and the economic consequences that you are going to be faced with.
Nathan, I admit I've never done a buy now, pay later, but if you, just from a broad perspective, if you've got the opportunity to either pay, 30% on your credit card, or if they've got, maybe it's a buy now, pay later with 0% interest, that would be an easy call though, right? I would think.
Well, sure. Yeah. If you had to choose between one lender over another, you're going to go with the one that gives you the more favorable terms. Less interest, lower payments, of course. And so, and I don't want to cast a shadow completely over the idea. It can work. There is room for it. You take, for example, some people who are kind of living paycheck to paycheck, and if you have a tire blowout or multiple tires blow out, and you don't have the cash on hand, and you need that car to get to work to keep your life running, well, you're going to have to borrow that money. In that case, you're going to need to use somebody else's money to get your car in working order. So yeah, you want to look at the economics. And I would say, and I talk about this every week on my radio show, the 3 C's. The first C is clarity. Make sure you understand what you're doing. Just know the numbers. If you don't understand it, talk with a financial professional or someone that you trust. The second is take control. You don't have to be a victim reacting and responding to the world around you. You can take control of your situation. Be disciplined. And the third C is confidence. And really, you don't get confidence unless you have clarity and you're taking control. So we really hope people take this message to heart this holiday season.
Again, that's a return on investment if you're fixing your car so you can get to work. That's something that's paying you back in the long run. So yeah, right. Good advice. And
yeah,
Nathan,
you got to keep that machine running.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Ford with the Vital Retirement Planners. Appreciate your time as always.